All right, we are back for another episode of Around the Indoor Football World, where we discuss all things indoor football, including the major indoor football leagues, whether that's the IFL, the NAL, the AF1, the TAL, and now the AAL as well. We kind of cover a little bit of it all here. So if you're a fan of indoor or arena football, this is the place for you. Join us every Saturday morning around 8 a.m. Eastern. We're running a little bit late today, but on the bright side, I'm back. Guess who's back? Back again. Had to, right? It's been a while. So, anyway, I'm back today. Very excited for another episode. We're going to hit the intro video and then we'll just get right into it for you guys. As of right now, we do not have a guest. So, if you're here for the guests, I apologize. Kind of dropped the ball on the guests this week, but we got a lot to talk about. So, we'll get into it. Awesome. So Brian already checking in. Thank you for tuning in, Brian. Really appreciate that as always. So we're going to go ahead and start with the AAL and let me back up. We're going to start with a petition that's going around right now, the Long Island petition, or the petition for Long Island football to return. So there's been a petition going around. I think it's gained a little bit of attraction, not a ton quite yet, but they are trying to petition that they would like to bring back indoor football in Long Island. As we all know, a couple years ago, or I guess 2 seasons ago now, the New York Dragons were supposed to return, and unfortunately it did not work out. And now fans are kind of taking it in their own hands to try and make this happen again. Real quick, obviously not too much to unpack here, but what did you guys think when you saw this petition kicking around? Let's go to Cody first on this one.
All right, I got a couple of things. One, Eminem, I know you're watching this. Please do not copyright strike us. Two, it's on Long Island, not in Long Island. You got to get that right. And then three, what does it matter? I mean, for all intents and purposes, it'd be nice to have a team there, but instead of having a petition, maybe see if there's anyone there that has deep pockets as an ownership. The New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia area, I'm sure has millionaires. And if they are willing to, kind of risk and lose their money on indoor/arena football, they will take that chance. Or maybe you just listen to every single rumor there is and every comment on Facebook, Twitter, what have you, where they say put a team here. Maybe a team will magically get put there. We have no idea. But preferably, yeah, I think the New York Dragons coming back would be awesome because they have a cool history. But at the same time, you need owners and you need people who want it. And I think you have one of those, someone passionate enough to have a change.org, but I don't think you have the other one to make the requirements right now.
Absolutely. And I forgot to ask you, Cody, how are you doing this morning, man?
Another day in beautiful paradise with my favorite people.
Hey, man, we appreciate that. I
wish I was still asleep.
Also, congratulations on the new position for this week.
Yeah, like I said, we're just going to coach TJ really, really hard. So he's got to return kicks. He's got to do, field goal protection and kick it at the same time. So whatever you got to do.
Take one for the team, TJ. TJ, how are you doing this morning, man? Well, let's start there.
Well, I was feeling pretty good till I realized I was going to have to run drills. I mean, man, now I'm tired.
Well, hopefully you got a goat energy somewhere next to you so you can, get all juiced up as we go here. But what are your thoughts on the potential return of, or I guess the desire to bring a team back for Long Island?
I think it's pretty cool to see. I think it's probably not going to go anywhere, unfortunately, but it would be interesting to see because in a way it's kind of like fan marketing if it works out, because if you get 10 15,000 signatures there, you might get somebody who has some money to say, look at all this interest. So I mean, in the long run it could work if you get enough signatures. Now if it doesn't really blow up and you only get maybe like 2,000 signatures, well, then that's not a good thing. That's kind of proving the point of why there's not a football team there. But yeah, if they could get enough signatures, I could see it kind of being like a marketing strategy from the fan standpoint to say, look, there's interest. Somebody come and put a team in here. We'll buy tickets. We'll go. So you never know. I hope the best for him. I did love watching the New York Dragons growing up. So, I mean, it would be awesome to see him come back. So I do hope it works out. But, the odds are kind of stacked against him with a petition.
Stay tuned. So high knees and onside kick drills later on today. You'll see TJ on the hands team as well later. So just stick with us. It's going to be entertaining today. So a couple comments that I wanted to get to, specifically this one right here, which I completely agree about. This is makes me wish ENTFLA was legit. Peter Schwartz was putting together something amazing in Long Island, and you completely agree. Peter Schwartz is awesome. He was really dedicated, was posting every single day, tried to stay in it until the very last second, had everybody kind of invested in Long Island. They had a line of people there when they were supposed to play their game, and unfortunately the game didn't happen, of course. So it's unfortunate to see. There's a lot of interest there, but like TJ said, maybe if this thing really blows up and we all kind of do our part, maybe there's a chance that the right eyes see it. Now, obviously, it's not highly likely, but at the same time, you never know. So what's the worst that can happen by giving this a little bit of publicity and seeing if we can't help them get a few more eyes on that. So on that note, I did drop the link in the chat. So if you guys are here and you're interested in supporting that, definitely go click on that, sign up. I did for sure. So I just wanted to throw that out there as well. But
catch Peter on the IFL broadcasts.
What's that?
Catch Peter on the IFL broadcasts.
Yeah, there you go. Good point. And Peter is now going to be one of the IFL broadcasters. So sticking around indoor football is always a good thing for him. Big fan of that guy. We had him on recently. So definitely check him out I'm blanking his channel name at the moment, so you have to give me a moment. But transitioning a little bit over to the AAL and AAL2, our draft broadcast team has officially been locked in for the 2026 AAL draft. Myself, TJ, and Cool McCain, the host of all the AAL and AAL2 content, will be making the trip out there to Columbus, Georgia to be in person for the event. I was actually just telling TJ off stage that I've begun collecting a couple pieces of equipment for this event. Can't really wait. It's going to be super exciting. But TJ, I mean, we haven't really talked about it on camera yet. What are your thoughts about the draft, and like how excited are you to be able to be in person there this season?
Oh man, well, first off, I'm really excited because I've always loved the direct, funnel system that, like the old AF2, AFL had. So now for the AL to be bringing that back and upping it with a draft too, I mean, it's a one of a kind moment in the sports history. So I'm really excited about it. If the 12-year-old arena football fanatic could see me now, he'd probably pass out because he wouldn't believe he was a part of something like this. So I'm definitely excited. I can't wait. Not super excited about the flight because I don't like flying, but it's definitely worth it. So I'm going to power through.
That is fair. I'm not a big fan of flying either, but take one for the team on this one. Really excited, and thank you for the opportunity to Columbus and everybody in the AAL. Very excited about this, and very, very glad about being able to get Cool on board as well. Just wouldn't be right without him there. So very excited to take part in this event for that league. They've been very good to us, and very excited for it. Like you said, I'm a draft nerd, so I'm really excited about this. I've been hard at work, preparing all the player write-ups and all that stuff. So I definitely cannot wait to put all these things in place and put them together and see what it looks like on the page. But we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll come back with a little bit of TAL news, but there really isn't a ton today. We're probably going to spend a little bit more time on the NAL, the IFL, and maybe a little bit more on the AF1 as well. Just a little bit more information coming out there, but definitely looking forward to the draft as comments are rolling in about that. And stick with us. We still got plenty to talk about.
How many times a week?
Like three, four times maybe.
I gotta pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers.
Omaha Beef football. Prime dancers. Rump roasters. Slaughterhouse. Are you ready? DJ next one. You ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Welcome to the Orange Kingdom. Yeah. Orange Kingdom. Welcome to the Orange Kingdom. Yeah. Orange Kingdom. Welcome to the Slaughterhouse where we run it. Yeah, we really want it. Beef Nation got them shaking. Got a ring and we flown it. Prime dancers be on it. I bet the competition's no opposition. We come to take and we done it. Ricky is the chief. Saying, let's go Beef. Welcome to the Orange Kingdom. Yeah. Orange Kingdom. Welcome to the Orange Kingdom. Yeah. Orange Kingdom. Welcome to the Slaughterhouse. Orange and Black about to win this. Defense stays on attack. You on our hit list. Blocking, blocking, and dumping, jumping out the gymnasium. You want to see the best meet us at the Beef Stadium. Yeah. Orange Kingdom. Welcome to the Orange Kingdom. Let's go Beef. Orange Kingdom. Slaughterhouse. Orange Kingdom. Prime dancers. Orange Kingdom. Let's roll, baby.
Before I forget in this episode, keep in mind we have a giveaway going on for a piece of Sioux Falls Storm turf. You can go ahead and enter to win completely free. We have tweaked this slightly. So we had some complaints that a lot of people were like, hey, I'm not on TikTok. I can't enter it. Well, I know a lot of you guys watching right now are on Facebook. So we made it a little bit easier. Instead of following Indoor and Arena Football History on TikTok, if you're not on there, you can also follow him on Facebook. The page name is up there right now. Find the contest keyword, comment it live during Around the Indoor Football World, any episode. We're going to keep this open for quite a while. And then join our mailing list at shadysportsnetwork.com. Completely free to do all three of those things. All it does is help us grow this platform a little bit more, get a little bit more content in front of you. Honestly, it's all free. What do you have to lose? So definitely don't forget to get signed up for that. Check out the contest keyword, get it in the chat, and you're automatically entered. That's all it takes. So we're going to pivot a little bit, talk about some TAL or the Arena League information just a little bit. Monroe has hired a director of business development, Clay Norris. I know this was something that we just talked about prior to getting on the show, so I'm sure you guys don't have a ton on this one, but do you guys have any thoughts on this? You want to pause it in here before we move on to NAL or IFL? Fair enough. So for the record, like I said, full disclosure, we talked about that immediately right before we came on the episode. So there wasn't a lot of back research or anything on that topic before we brought it up. So let's go ahead and pivot over to the NAL. That way we can kind of stick on some topics for a little bit. One of the big things that I wanted to just do was kind of recap the offseason for the NAL. There's been a lot of moves by them on a league-wide scale that I feel have kind of, in my eyes, legitimized the league a lot more than over the past couple of years. So basically, I kind of looking back, we've had an announcement of the NAL app. We've had the announcement of Black Rifle Coffee as a partner for the league. We've now had the announcement of MyBookie. And then this past week was the Form Energy Drink announcement, in which they've partnered with Form as well. So 4 big announcements this offseason that have kind of reshaped how we look at the NAL. But I wanted to kind of get your guys' opinions on this. I mean, obviously, these are all individually pretty solid moves, but as a bigger picture, how do you guys feel that this is changing the overall outlook of the National Arena League? And TJ, we're going to go to you first on this one because you've been there. You were in the NAL as a coach. So, I mean, you kind of have a unique view on how it was to how it is today.
Well, I'm going to show my age here, but when I was in the NAL, it was actually an arena league, not indoor. So that's how long ago that was. But the, you know, for me, I kind of look at the overall landscape of the sport and think, I mean, not to force fit him in, but I think the AF1 kind of sped this process up because they kind of came out. They were getting the Real American Beer deal. They were, doing the Evergreen Now hub, app thing, and it kind of just brought everything back up. You had the IFL doing the network deal, so the NAL, they were looking around saying, all right, well, we need to, essentially kind of play some catch up. Maybe some of these deals were already in the works at that point. Who knows? But in one off season, I mean, they've literally canceled out any of the major negatives you can say about the league. That one of the major things in recent years was, again, they're on YouTube. Every other league's on something else, but they're still on YouTube. Now they're going to have their own, not just app, but fan interactive hub, which is going to really legitimize that experience. Another thing was, national awareness. They have two, not one, but two now national sponsors that are in others, Black Rifle Coffee, as we found out, from Cody, in NASCAR and everything else. I mean, that's a big brand. And then what was one of the other main hits they took? Oh, well, they're the only league that doesn't have some kind of a betting platform. Now they took care of that too. I mean, in one off season, they have probably gone up 2 or 3 steps in one. And I'm really excited about the NAL. This has kind of made them go from looking like they were falling behind compared to the other two, and all of a sudden they're right back up neck and neck with them, in my opinion. This it totally changes everything for the NAL, and it also kind of brought up the whole, at least the core arena and indoor leagues in the sport as well.
No, I couldn't have said it better myself. But Cody, I know you're more of an IFL fan, but obviously you've been speaking very highly about some of these moves already. So I kind of know where you're going to head with this. But what are your thoughts on this latest move for the NAL?
Well, first of all, how did you know I was an IFL fan? Just question. I'm really, I don't want to say proud because it's not like it's my child or anything like that, but I am proud of like the decisions and the sponsorships and everything that the NAL has gotten. When you go back just a couple of seasons, you were wondering if this league would even survive. Like, not to put it into IFL context, but like when you think about where the IFL was in like 2017, 2018, somewhere in that time frame when they only had like 6 teams, and you're like, are you on death's door? Just a couple seasons ago, you were wondering if the NAL was in that same situation. When you look at the team list or like the map and everything, it is a completely different area than what the NAL was when it started. So to be able to transition what the NAL was to what it is now, get those sponsorships, get those deals done, get an app, get a betting partner, get all of that stuff. It's not necessarily to keep up with the Joneses of like the indoor football league or the AF1 or anything. It's doing your own thing and saying, hey, we're going to do it in our lane. We're not going to compete with you guys, but we're going to have the same things as you guys. And if people want to check out our product, great. And that's something that, I am really like excited for when it comes to the NAL. It's like, I talk indoor football league, but I've been more excited about the NAL right now from everything that they've been putting out when it comes to sponsorships, and hopefully the on-field product matches what they've been doing off the field, because if you can combine those two things, the NAL can explode in popularity in the coming years.
Completely agree. I mean, honestly, I think a lot of these things, kind of clean up the image a little bit. And like, I know a lot of the thought process behind that image and that perception of the NAL is not necessarily on the teams that are in the league now. Obviously, this is a league that's existed for 7-8 years now, or I think it's 8 years now, if I remember correctly. I think it was 2017, 2018 that they launched. And then, it's been a periodic kind of changing of the guard, kind of over the years, as we know. I think it was 2023 when all those teams jumped over from the CIF and the power kind of shifted toward the CIF model. But now here we have like more, in my eyes, more moves that kind of speak to a national platform for the league, which is obviously a good thing. But I also think it's a symptom of having Commissioner Brandon Eichert in place. I've spoken very, very often about my thoughts and my beliefs that Todd Tryon is one of the best commissioners of any league, regardless of the level, because of the moves that the league has made, the IFL has made under his guidance. And I have no other course of action but to view a lot of these moves by the NAL in the same manner as some of the stuff the IFL has done over the years under Tryon. So, I mean, in my eyes, I think Eichert he's got a very business focus, which I like. It seems like he's finding ways to monetize the league as a league without necessarily focusing on, team sponsors, which I like. I think it's a model to where it can make the league sustainable, and it can even maybe down the road kind of help some of these teams operate a little bit more sustainably and maybe even a little bit more cheaply for the individual ownership groups. So he has assured me that there are more announcements to come. He has not told me any specifics yet, but the commissioner, Commissioner Eichert, has assured me that we have a lot more news coming. So definitely stay tuned. The NAL is far from done, I guess. So very intrigued to see what these other moves could be, given everything that's come out this offseason. But before we kind of move on from this topic, I wanted to ask you guys in particular, I mean, is there one thing they've done this offseason that really kind of sticks out to you as like the crowning achievement for them so far? Let's go to Cody first on this one.
I think the crowning achievement's got to be their own app. We saw last year with the Indoor Football League Network and what they were able to do with their app and their website and everything. So to be able to branch off and, correct me if I'm wrong, are they on YouTube or not? Everything's on the app, right? Okay. So with that, you're going to be able to have all of your games in one spot. You're going to be able to control the feeds. You're going to be able to do that. So, and I've said this in the alley videos where I was critical of the Indoor Football League for doing that exact thing, but it actually worked out. And to Sam's credit with what he was talking about with Eichert and Tryon, like sometimes these commissioners have to take these big risks and risk it blowing up in their face. And for right now, neither of them have. So you have to give a lot of credit and a lot of kudos to what Tryon has done. And I'm not going to try and shoehorn him into this, but with what Eichert has done, especially with the NAL, to take a lot of these risks, a lot of these huge jumps, to sit there and say, hey, like I said, we're going to be our own thing. We've got to do what we've got to do, not just to survive, but in order to showcase our stuff to the fans that actually want to watch. There are a lot of great fan bases in the NAL right now. And like I said, I'm just now coming to learn that it's an amazing product. And I think that app is going to be really, really beneficial to not just the players, not just the coaches, but the entire league as a whole.
I agree, especially if it means production quality as a whole goes up. So that's obviously, one of the big questions that we got asked when the NAL app was announced. But TJ, same question for you, man. What's the biggest crowning achievement in your opinion?
Man, it's such a close 1-2 for me, but since Cody chose the app, I'll go the other way. I think it's the branding that they've gotten. The Black Rifle Coffee and Form Energy. Yeah, Form Energy drink. I mean, two big sponsors in one off season. Like I said, especially for them already doing other sports like NASCAR and everything, to get the NAL on board. I think from a marketing standpoint, that's huge, and popularity is going to really rise this season because of it.
I completely agree. And we got a question in the chat, and I wonder why that might be, given that we're talking about the NAL and we just played a Omaha Beef commercial. But question, who's your biggest show sponsor? You might be surprised to hear that it is not Omaha. It is not any team in the NAL. So it's actually the Columbus Lions. So In case you were wondering, that is the biggest sponsor of anything we do. And actually, that's just an individual team that's the biggest sponsor. I mean, if you want to talk about biggest partners, it's probably the AAL, AAL2 as a whole. They've been very good to us. They've helped us with a lot and vice versa. And that's a partnership I'm very excited about and look forward to keeping around for many, many years in the future, hopefully. So a couple comments, a lot of comments I'm going to get through real quick since we have kind of been ignoring you guys in the chat. Brian checking in. Hi, guys. And then Dawan Fan. Thank you again for tuning in, man. Really appreciate you coming in. And who is the new guy? I assume he's joking. He's here almost every week, so I'm sure he knows who I am. ENTFLA. Probably, I mean, they might be trying to make a comeback as we've seen the kind of the sponsored posts, but I think that's dead on arrival, but we'll see. Adrian Figueroa checking in. By the way, I just want to shout this out, and I'm sorry, Adrian, if this embarrasses you at all. But if you missed the news, Adrian has unfortunately parted ways with the Pirates. I think it was kind of a mutual thing, but that's irrelevant. The reason I'm bringing this up is because Adrian, in my opinion, is one of the best social media managers I have ever seen for any individual team. So if you are a team out there that needs some help in your social media department, this is the guy you want to talk to. Comment, or if you need any help getting a hold of him, I am happy to direct you the right direction, get his phone number or whatever I need to do. He is one of the best, and I'm not just saying that because he's a huge supporter of us. I mean, go look at what he did for the Pirates, and I think you guys will agree. The proof's in the pudding. So Scott Levin checking in. Good morning, folks. Thank you again for Scott being here. He's a big supporter of us as well, constantly asking us questions during the week and stuff like that. So really appreciate that. Of course, make sure you're hitting the like button. Helps us out a ton when we're growing this program. TJ is now Wes Welker. That's right. He's going to kick off, hold for field goals, and then also run down and return kicks. So any minute here. Texas Pete checking in as well. Good morning. High knees and onside kick drills coming as well any minute here. Wow, covering the draft. Pretty sweet. I agree. Any players in the draft catch your eye? I did not catch this question earlier. I apologize. There's a couple players in the draft that do catch my eye. And I'm hoping that we can get permission to start putting some of those names out there, but obviously they would like to keep some of their draft class intact. And let me tell you, there are some impressive players in the class that may surprise some teams after they see them playing in the AAL. Currently, Scott, all of that information is private. The league has access to that. We have access to that due to our draft coverage. However, I will not be putting any of that information out unless the league explicitly gives me permission to. So if you would like information on any of the players in the AAL draft, please feel free to reach out to them or AJ Roque, ROQUE, specifically, and he can get you information on the players if they're willing to make that information public. Brian mentions first movement for the Monroe team. He's correct. It's been very quiet on that front. How has your experience been with the NAL shop? I've been waiting 3 weeks for my purchases and they aren't answering emails. Texas Pete, I'm a little concerned about that for you, buddy. Have you gotten any sort of tracking information or anything like that? Because that would definitely be an issue if you have not. I think it's a good space for sponsors, and I think if done right, this should help leagues who do it right survive longer. I agree. The league is only as good as the ownership groups. 100% agree. I'll just say that for now. Genuine question. Okay, that's fair, Tony. Man, I appreciate you, brother. You didn't need to do that. Thank you. Quentin Humphrey joining in. Good morning, gents. And then Tony O'Neill. Every Ohio State player is killing it. So wild to see. Yes, the NFL Combine has been interesting to watch for sure. All right, so a couple more NAL things here. Training camps have started in most cities at this point. I believe the last team to arrive to camp was Salina, and I believe they kicked off today. If They kick off today, if I remember correctly. But we also have our first preseason game in the NAL today, which is between the Pueblo Punishers and the NoCo Nightmare right here in my backyard. So how excited are you guys that indoor football is officially back? I mean, obviously we've had the AIF going on, but now we've got the NAL, and from here it's all systems go. Let's go to Cody first.
It's exciting. It's exciting to get to see the games and actually start to see the talent that has been months in the making, the recruitment, the training camps, the signings, departures, refusing to reports, everything like that. You're going to get your group of guys. You're going to start playing these games and really start to figure out where this team or these teams are going to go, who's going to vie for a championship, and who's got a better look next year. So everything is just starting to kick off, and there's going to be obviously more leagues as each week progresses, kicking off and doing their training camps. So it's, the cliche is, kid on Christmas. It's here. It's real. It's going to be awesome.
Absolutely agree. TJ, how excited are you, my friend?
Very excited. It's been a long couple of weeks since the Super Bowl, but now, we're getting some action back, and not only is it football back, man, but it's indoor and arena football. So it's my bread and butter. I love it. I'm super excited about it, and I can't wait. I'm definitely going to be watching tonight. That's for sure.
Absolutely. And Matt, he said, don't forget Louisiana plays today. Trust me, I couldn't forget that if I wanted to, because they are playing the Far Phantoms, which I always lovingly refer to them as our semi-professional team, because our boy Daniel Villapando is in the ownership group there and plays for them. So they will be playing Louisiana today. And one of the reasons why I waited to bring that up is we had noticed earlier in this week on my bookie, they were actually a 6.5 point favorite on the road versus Louisiana. So I was kind of waiting for that moment. So I'm glad that, Matt kind of brought that up. So I'm curious, what are your guys' thoughts on the spreads so far on my bookie? Let's go to TJ first on this one.
That's definitely wild. You definitely don't plan on a visiting semi-pro team, being the favorite in your venue as a pro team. I definitely didn't expect that. A lot of people are probably thinking, "Oh, well, that's easy. Let's just go take, the money line on the pro team." But hey, listen, there's a reason why, number one, you play the game, and number two, there's a reason why the spread is the way it is. It's supposed to be a down to the wire game, so do not be surprised if what they're predicting does happen.
Wouldn't surprise me at all, for sure. Cody, what were your thoughts when you saw that?
I mean, if it can happen to Omaha, it can happen to Louisiana. So,
that's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, you just never know, and it's something that I've iterated in all of my team previews and stuff like that through the indoor football league stuff. Is just like the NAL and some of these other leagues have preseason games to get things right. If you don't, I mean, you still have the rest of the season. So I guess it's no harm, no foul, but you're still going to get clowned on it if you lose. So maybe take the money line for Louisiana. It could be free money. We do not know. But at the same time, you will probably get mocked in the forums if you lose this game and you are the Louisiana Rouxgaroux. So
a little bit for sure. I mean, obviously, preseason may not matter to the record, but it definitely can affect that reputation a little bit. No tracking information. That's why I've been trying to contact them. Let me see what I can do for you on that, Texas Pete. I will try and get an answer for you or get some sort of contact for you sent back, because I'm sure that they do not want that happening to people like you that have been, very, very supportive of the league. So, I haven't seen anyone post pics of Gold Sports NAL shop merch purchased. Well, I haven't posted pictures, but I have certainly, put it on here. In fact, you can see my Southwest Kansas Storm helmet right behind me in the background there. So I just keep that in mind.
I've worn all of my shirts on the show at some point too.
As well.
Really good quality.
To be fair, I do remember the tracking, I mean, the shipping being a little delayed. It took a little bit for the stuff to get here, but when it did, it was great quality. I mean, I'm not wearing my shirts today or anything like that, but I was actually thoroughly impressed by the helmet. Like, it's as legit as an NFL helmet. It's literally Rydell's. So I mean, it's awesome. But there is a question that has been going around, and this is something that I do not currently have the answer for. People are wondering whether or not the preseason games are on the app for the NL, and I do not have an answer for that currently. So I will try and get an answer for you guys as soon as possible and see if I can't get it out there during this show. That way we all know, because I would like to know as well. And I just honestly have not had the time to ask anybody in the league myself. There's the question right there. Are these games on the app? I spent the 2 hours it takes to figure out a crypto wallet to take the Louisiana money line. I hope y'all aren't right. That's awesome. Love it. People are already betting on the league just because they can. So that's one more reason for people to watch arena football. So there was a flurry of moves in Colorado, I believe last night or over the past couple of days, and we will kind of go over a couple of them. Let me pull up the list we've got right here. One of them was rather surprising. Taj Alston has been released, but one of them is rather not surprising. Luis Faria has returned to Colorado. He was their kicker last year. Great kicker, one of the best in the NL last season, and he is back with the Spartans. Logan Stewart has been released from Colorado, and Corey Henry signed with Colorado. So what are your guys' thoughts on these moves? Let's go to Cody first on this one.
It doesn't matter. I'm gonna channel my inner Krish here and say that as long as they've got Paxton Lynch, they're just winning the championship, baby. It doesn't matter what transactions are going to happen. They're going to win.
I love it.
All those sorry ass teams and everything else, and it's Colorado, baby.
There you go. Something about Pueblo. You forgot that part. So, TJ, what are your thoughts on this move?
I just spent trying to position the team, adding, dropping, getting ready for the season. At the end of the day, I'm not too excited until it's like opening weekend. And then, because then that's when you know the guys that you envision being on the roster and starting and everything else. So for me, it's still a little too early to really go into it too much.
That is fair for sure. A couple more comments here. No spread for the Pueblo game. I did not notice that.
Maybe it's a pick 'em.
No, sometimes if there's no spread or anything, that the bookies will sit there and say, "Hey, we think this team is going to win by so much that you can bet as much money as you want because we don't have any. We're not going to put even a line out there because we think this team is going to win by a lot." So could be the case, could not be the case, but that's sometimes how it goes.
Interesting. Hilarious that the spread has far favored. Can't wait for tonight. The Rue broadcasts were great last season. I'm really curious. I would love to get somebody from my bookie on the show to ask them how they do this, because I mean, let's be honest, it's got to be incredibly hard when you're a new betting service that has probably not spent a ton of time studying the NAL prior to this agreement to go out there and post your first lines of the season. I mean, I'd be curious where they even came up with the factors to try and determine some of this stuff, especially in preseason games. Like, I'm shocked they're even doing it for the preseason games, to be honest. Just a reminder that the bus stop will be on right after here at 9:30 a.m. Mountain Time. So make sure you check in with our boy LeCedric, who's in the chat currently. So if you want to have a conversation with him, see what his show is about, he's right there in the chat right now. Far Phantoms is a great organization and know the arena scheme. Yes, they do. They're playing several games against arena opponents this year, and they're definitely a talented team without a doubt. Texas has no shortage of talented football players, that's for sure. I had the same issue. 3 to 4 week jersey took 9 weeks. That's concerning. Do keep in mind, though, Goat Sports is doing all the team jerseys and stuff. So there might be, some delays due to all that stuff, kind of having to get done all at once. And then I would imagine, hopefully, as the season goes, it will start, getting a little bit quicker and stuff as they're kind of working their way through the bulk orders. Let us know your thoughts in the chat. Some teams are and some are not, I believe, referring to the broadcast. As Brian mentioned, no Rue game pulled off the wrap. Pueblo is scheduled for tonight in the app. Pueblo shows up in app. Louisiana doesn't. And I think Brian answered why VSN signed up to broadcast here too late to be ready for tonight. Pueblo has a partnership with CSU Pueblo to do their broadcast, and that was set up like a month ago. So LeCedric says, so I'm buying a Spartan jersey instead of a Pueblo Punisher one. That depends. Are you a Paxton Lynch fan? Man, there are a ton of comments rolling. One more comment, and then we'll get back to the topics. Colorado's spread to win it all is so far off online. Colorado has to be one of the favorites, and their spread at 16.25 is so disrespectful to what they have done this offseason. Ricky, maybe you know better than we do. How do they determine these spreads right off the bat?
Are Ricky and Krish hanging out? Because he said the same thing.
Like almost word for word.
Yeah.
But something tells me Krish probably called Ricky and was like, Ricky, this is a travesty. What is going on? My bookie consulted Krish. That's hilarious. Which of the unknown 3 Amarillo, Louisiana, or Pueblo surprises everyone this year and snags a playoff spot? With Dallas being Dallas, one of them almost has to. That's an interesting question. I think, in my opinion, probably Pueblo of those 4. Cody's nodding his head. So you think Pueblo as well, sir?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say the lack of transactions, because everyone's made transactions, but Amarillo and Louisiana still have a little bit left to be desired. I think there are chances for them to compete. I think Pueblo is, I don't want to put it into tiers, but Pueblo is kind of in probably that middle to lower tier where they can shock some people and potentially make a playoff push, but it remains to be seen. Like I just said, you've got all these preseason games to sort stuff out, but I would put Pueblo above the other ones.
Yeah, I think tonight's going to be very telling. Obviously the NoCo Nightmare, that's a semi-pro developmental team. So, we should expect to see a win by Pueblo. But at the same time, they have played arena football before. They played against the Spartans last year. So, you just never know. You never know. So, hopefully Pueblo comes out and shows us that they're a better team than some people on this network have been projecting. Krish, wherever you are. TJ, what about you, sir?
Where would I rank Pueblo?
Yeah. Or, well, not necessarily just Pueblo, but who do you have making the playoffs out of Amarillo, Louisiana, Pueblo, and Dallas?
I'd probably say Pueblo. Again, kind of like Cody was saying, I don't see them running away with it and shocking the league, but I see them probably finishing around 500, a game above, maybe, kind of not necessarily sneaking in, but getting that last playoff spot, maybe, having an opening round upset, who knows? But yeah, I would probably say Pueblo is probably the most likely to get that first year bid into the playoffs.
All right, so it's unanimous. Everybody here has Pueblo making the playoffs, which likely means for all of us, Dallas, Amarillo, and Louisiana would be on the outskirts currently. But obviously, this is early. We haven't seen anybody play a game. These are subject to change. We were put on the spot in case we're wrong. Just saying. It's offshore, so the way they do it isn't consistent. Just researching how they operate. Well, of course it's offshore. They had to make sure that they could take Krish's bets, because if they didn't, how else were they going to make their millions? I mean, let's be honest. Just kidding. But anyway, I think that pretty much sums up our NAL topics for the day. We're going to hit a quick commercial break. We'll come back. We'll talk about some AF1 stuff. and then wrap up with the IFL. Hopefully, Krish will be joining us here shortly, and we'll see. We were going to put him on the spot and have him do a bet on screen, but we'll see. We'll see. It's offshore, so I don't think they have it all together yet. We shall see. Krish seems to know about them pretty well, so hopefully he can come on and enlighten us some of the ways they operate currently. But
if it's offshore, they just need to get a boat. I mean,
there you go.
Simple as that.
Exactly. Just travel out there real quick.
Yeah, fix
all
it.
the problems.
Yeah, if they don't have it all together, just get a boat. It's offshore. Go fix it.
Exactly. Send the IT guy.
I don't know what we're yelling about!
The mountains you climb. Maybe stairs. The records you set. Maybe personal. The fans you inspire. Maybe family. No lights. No camera. Just action. You don't have to be a pro. You just need HoneyStinger.
All right. Now we got a little bit of AF1 information. Or sorry, real quick before we get into the AF1, there's one piece of AIF information that we are pretty excited about here. Our guy, Matt Rizier, who is our writer, he's been doing a lot of articles on the website, has formed something of a little bit of a partnership with the AIF, and he will be trying to provide one central location to provide some news on the AIF, which will be in his All-American Rundown articles going forward. This is thanks to Terrence Foster, the commissioner of the AIF, who has graciously agreed to do this with us. Thanks to Matt, making that partnership for us and reaching out to the AIF commissioner and bridging a gap that I honestly thought never would be bridged once again. So very excited about that. You can definitely catch all of that content on shadysportsnetwork.com. Also, before I get too far ahead of myself, make sure you guys are subscribing to our second channel. It came to my attention this past week that I apparently do not do a good enough job of making it clear that we have two channels. So we have the channel that you guys are all watching right now, which is primarily all of our podcast stuff, and that does go out to our various platforms. And then we have a second channel, which is our Shady Sports Network live sports channel. And on that channel, we broadcast things like arena soccer, arena football. If you're a fan of that, you might be. I don't know. You're watching the show. Also, fighting events, wrestling, college basketball, college football, all kinds of stuff. And I'm not talking alternative play-by-play. While we do have some of that on the channel, most of this is live games that you can actually watch the game. It's completely legal. It's completely free. And you're not going to get kicked out of the stream midway through the game because it's getting shut down by the FBI or anything like that. So definitely make sure you subscribe to that channel. Again, completely free. It's on YouTube, Shady Sports Network, live games. I dropped the link in the chat, and it will definitely be worth your while. So go subscribe to that. And then our guy, Matt, speaking of which, have you all discussed the AIF Game of the Year going on today? I missed the first 45 minutes. Of course, he means, let me guess, West Michigan and Cedar Rapids, if I'm not mistaken. Krish, how nice of you to join us, my friend.
What's up, guys? Good to see you.
Definitely. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate you coming on.
definitely.
Can you enlighten us about how my bookie works?
Yeah, so my bookie is an offshore gambling site, right? So essentially it's not like, I mean, it's legalized in most states, some states it's not. So you need to go and kind of sign up for it offshore. As I said last week, I've been doing it since I was 13, so it's pretty easy to access. But it's a good platform to use. You can bet on futures, championship winners for the NAL, and then live lines. They don't have live lines. It's preset, so you can't bet a game live. You can only bet it before a tip. So
Interesting. I wonder if they'll add live betting options down the road.
I hope so.
Yeah, I was man. The integration in the app, the NAL app, if they can make that work, would be amazing. But
One thing I did notice when I signed up for it was if you want to deposit with like a credit card or a debit card, there is a minimum of like $45 or $50. So it's a little steep compared to most.
True. That DraftKings got me involved with betting because they, they'll take like $10 on a deposit or whatever, even low as $5, and you can bet on that for as long as you want, really, if you're a decent bettor. So that's definitely going to be a little bit of a detracting factor for some people. Not Krish though. Krish has probably already deposited like $500. He's preparing for the first weekend of football.
He's got to bet Colorado. He's got to bet Colorado.
Oh, guaranteed.
100%, man. Paxton Lynch MVP. All the
You
way.
probably put the house on Colorado, huh? You just secretly stole your parents' deed and you're just like, bet the house. Let's do this. Doing it since you were 13, Dawan Fon says. And to get the winnings payout fee, the fee is unreasonable unless you use Bitcoin. Well, so that sounds like a benefit to me. It's getting you to invest in Bitcoin. I don't know if you guys have seen the trends on Bitcoin lately. I'm just saying. But just kidding. This is not an investment show. Please do not take my advice. Do not invest your money in anything that I recommend because I am not a financial advisor.
Unless it's Paxton Lynch and the Colorado Spartans.
That's true. In which case, that's a sound investment. Bet the house. But it's going to be interesting to see how this season works out and how it relates to the betting odds. So I'm definitely going to be taking a screenshot of a lot of that stuff and keeping it on hand for later in the season that we can kind of go back and evaluate. But to move on to the AF1, as I initially mentioned earlier, one of the topics that we needed to talk about was actually in the chat a little bit earlier. You may have seen some comments from our guy, Tony O'Neill. It appears that he may or may not be back with Minnesota. Krish, I think you know a little bit about that. What are your thoughts on that move?
Yeah, if it's true that he's back with Minnesota, I really have no words. I would be like, no, I have nothing to say. No, I'm not a fan of that move at all, honestly. And it's not because of him; it's because of the fit. Minnesota's a new organization at this point, and I just don't think. I think him and Larache Jackson, the defensive coordinator, will get into a fist fight before week one even starts. So I just don't think it's a good fit. I don't think it's a good fit. I think Minnesota's at a weird point. I don't want to say too much, whatever. I've heard some, a lot of speculation on them. One of the speculations I've heard is Jacob Lambert hasn't even fully purchased the team yet. So he still owes the previous ownership money. I've heard that from multiple sources. I invite him on to clarify that. But I just, I hope it works out for him if he does go back to Minnesota. But I would like to see him go to a new team. I think he should get a fresh start away from Minnesota. Don't go back. So
that's a fair point. I would like to see what he could do with another organization. But this is the post that we were discussing that kind of made the speculation that he may be returning. So goddamn proud of what Jacob Lambert has done for this organization. Saw some of the guys today. Can't wait to get caught up. So that could mean that he's just catching up, with some of his players. It could mean that he's rejoining the organization and trying to get caught up to what they're doing. So
yeah, I know. I know Jacob Lambert's a big fan of the show. He watches it on his burner account every week. So what's up, Jake? Hope you're doing well. Can't wait to see you week one in Albany. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So
this show is just I love TJ and Cody, but this show is just so much more entertaining for everybody when Krish is here to call everybody in the chat out.
We're back, baby.
Exactly. So in case you guys caught last week and had some issues and I wasn't here and you caught the first 45 minutes of the show, everybody's back. The whole team's here. So TJ, what are your thoughts on this move, assuming that's the case that's actually happening?
I mean, hey, good for Coach O'Neill. Like Chris said, it's kind of like a whole new team at this point since walking out, like a month or two ago, or leaving a month or two ago. So it would be interesting to see. I don't really know, man. It's not to say the team itself by any means is a nightmare, but from a PR standpoint, it's like, man, I'm getting whiplash. I don't know what's going on with them now.
That's a good term for what's going on for sure. A little bit confusing. Cody, what were your thoughts when you heard about this?
Yeah, it's just to echo TJ. I mean, it's a whiplash. It's excuse me. I don't. When you think of Minnesota, you have no idea what's going on. You do, but you don't, in the sense of like with coaches coming and going, players coming and going. You got that money issue that they were talking about. I mean, and I'll tell myself for the longest of time, I didn't know if it was O'Neill Tony or Tony O'Neill. So, I mean, who's the real guy here? We don't know. It's been a cluster trying to figure all of it out. But yeah.
And can I add something too? I don't have a problem with Coach Speedy. We've had good interactions. We've had very bad interactions, but I think he's a good person, right? But I also think, he has to understand how this looks on the outside. He has to understand from our perspective and other people's perspective how it looks. You know what I mean? And TJ hit it on the nail. It's really hard to follow. New GM here, new CEO here, like new players, new everything. So they're spending money. Then they trade their star receiver to Washington, which is crazy. Like, there's just so much going on. But I said this before, and I mean this sincerely. If you go into Albany week 1 and you lose by only 21 points, maybe 14 points, you can shake a lot of people's narratives. I feel like you can change the image around your franchise if you do that week 1. I really do. So.
Fair point. A couple comments real quick. It's a hell of a process if you don't know what you're doing. It's an insanely stressful process to try and transfer crypto, but it's much faster and safer in illegal states to use crypto. This is not an investment show. Apparently, Adrian liked that comment. I got to throw the disclaimers out there, just like I often have to throw a disclaimer after some of the things that Krish says. Bitcoin equals Beanie Babies. Can't even buy a loaf of bread with Bitcoin. We only invest in the healthy future of the indoor and arena scene, says Cody. Speaking of which, if you have not done so already, make sure you go subscribe to the In the Alley IFL on YouTube. That would be his handle right there. You can look it up right there. Tons of previews have come out. I think you're on number 7 today, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, we just put out the New Mexico Chupacabras one last night, and then tonight will be the Northern Arizona Wranglers. After that will be Krish's Orlando Pirates, and then my beloved Quad City Steamwheelers after that. So we just keep going down the alphabet.
Plowing through them quick. So there are 6 out currently, correct? Awesome. So yeah, definitely go catch out all of those. Cody does a lot of great work and definitely takes some time and effort into all of his videos. Honestly, I highly recommend his channel. I watched his stuff before he ever started doing content with us, and then immediately was like, I am a fan of this guy's expertise and what he does on his channel. So I had to get him on here, and here he is. So it's been a lot of fun getting to know him and watching his content over the years. So definitely appreciate what you do, Cody, man.
Thank you. I do want to say one thing really quick to what Krish and the AF1 with Minnesota. I think some people forget that this is Minnesota's inaugural year in the AF1 too, with all of the stuff that's gone through. They are moving from the TAL to the AF1, and they've gone through all of this stuff in just a matter of months. So that's crazy.
No, that's a great point. I almost honestly forgot about that. So I mean, it's kind of crazy how much news has come out of Minnesota this year, but we'll see. We'll see how things go, and hopefully it goes well for him. But there's definitely been a lot of turnover, a lot of change, a lot of oddness going on out there. But how about them Steamwheelers, Cody?
Do you like horse racing? Do you like Triple Crown winners?
New fan of In the Alley here.
Appreciate
Adrian. Yeah, Queon Williams signing with Quad City was huge. Man, as a fan of the game, I am so excited to see that Quad City offense. You got DeQuan Neal there. You've got remind me who the other wide receiver they have.
Jordan Vesey and Kevon Rudd.
Thank you. So they're stacked at wide receiver. The running back is very, very talented. Very excited.
2 running backs. They got Jared Ware. I can just do the Quad City preview if you want me to. I'm just kidding.
We'll save it for your video. I don't want to completely ruin all your content. So definitely that.
I love the running back room in Quad City. I can't even lie. Gerard Ware, Zaire Wilcox, and then you had Kayvon Mosley from Miami, Ohio. Like it's a really dynamic room, and I think Quad City, they've been very dynamic on offense. Ever since Coach Ross kind of took over, that's his style. So it's great to see, honestly.
Agreed. And I mean, maybe it's just me it feels like Quad City's kind of going all in this year. They seem to be bringing in some big pieces, specifically on the offensive side. But
yeah, they brought back Darian Jackson in the secondary too, and then they brought back all 4 of their players from the secondary minus Chris Chukwuneke, who's over at Jacksonville. It's insane. We'll see how it goes because, like I said, you have a lot of formidable opponents in the East, and I'm really curious to see how it all goes.
Agreed. And this is a good point by Matt here. The UFL hasn't started making cuts yet. The talent will backfill into the IFL. You're 100% correct. It will backfill into all these leagues, but at the same time, Quad City has gone out and gotten some of the guys that were already left out of the UFL selection process this year. Queon Williams has gotten an opportunity and was bounced from the league, and now he's back in the IFL for.
I want to say one thing. Like Keon, he's the ultimate competitor. I'm a huge fan of him. I've had great conversations with him, and he's someone that he goes so hard every play. He was on a 1-15 Iowa team, and he never quit. He played every snap. So he stays healthy. His ability to stay healthy is impressive. My thing is, I was surprised he didn't sign with Tulsa. He's from the Oklahoma City area, and Tulsa is only a 3-hour ride to Dallas, where the UFL is based. So I thought he was going to sign with Tulsa, be there, but I heard Quad City was able to meet his requirement. So I completely understand that, and it's a good move for them, man. It puts you guys like. I was upset when I saw it. I'm like, we have to play this week too. So, but what it is.
I mean, he's not going to start over Todd Simmons, but we'll see.
I'm still blown away by that. I'm just so shocked. Like, how is that even possible that he has signed with so many teams this offseason? But we're going to transition over. Believe it or not, we're still in the AF1 section, even though we just spent 20 minutes talking about Quad City. So there have been some recent transactions in the AF1, quite a few of them actually, and some of them a little bit surprising. One of the ones that kind of stuck out to me, which I'm going to pull up the transaction list real quick from the 23rd, so about 5 days ago, just after our last show. Shea Spencer was released by Nashville. That was a little bit surprising, very quality quarterback, but we ended up finding out that he has landed in Wheeling with the Miners, most likely as their quarterback 1. So he goes from a very deep quarterback room in Nashville to a very currently empty quarterback room in Wheeling that only holds him. So good for him. That definitely seems to be a good opportunity. And then you also have Kadavius Gary, an offensive lineman traded from Washington to Oregon. So Oregon's picking up a little bit of talent there on the offensive line, but it looks like Washington has brought in a different offensive lineman that they're deciding to go with, Travis Alvarez, 6'8", 335 pounds. I believe he's kind of kicked around in a couple different indoor leagues in the past.
Yeah, he was in Orlando in 2024. He took a year off in 25.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Trey Long also released. That to me was a very surprising move. Any moves on this list that you guys are surprised by? And then we got some 27 or some transactions from yesterday to address as well.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what Trey Long lands. I mean, I think it's a very interesting receiver you have on the market. I mean, he was cooking before he got hurt. He had over 130 yards against Southwest Kansas week 1, and then he got hurt towards ACL. So now he's back, and I think you're getting a really good quality veteran receiver there. If you're, especially in the arena style, I think Trey should stick to the arena style, in my opinion. Another thing too, if you look at the list, Tom Butters. I know everyone loves Tom Butters because of the name and everything, but a lot of people love names. They don't watch the film. I do, so he's not really like that. I'm glad that he's not with Kentucky anymore. I think he needs to find a more lower end team to go to, like Oregon or maybe Oceanside, somewhere where he can start and play. So.
That's fair. Let's be honest though, Tom Butters is not a fullback by trade. He's a tight end by trade. So it was kind of, he had to transition, so it's not really his forte. He's pretty solid pass catcher out of, honestly. So definitely would be playing tight end outdoors if he was outdoors. So would love to see him get another opportunity. TJ, Cody, any moves here that stick out to you? Let's go to TJ first.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't happen often, but I kind of have to agree with Krish on Tom Butters. I think if he could get picked up by like Oceanside was the front of my mind. Like he could get some time, actually get some playing time in, some reps in, and then really improve not only during the season, but then possibly be ready for a top echelon team next season or the year after.
Makes sense.
Plus, every time the guy catches the ball, you get to scream Butters like at South Park. That's awesome. So.
Well, also, this is the same guy that was in Oregon. He had one good game, and then he tried to ask for more money, and they cut him. So I think he needs to be a little more realistic with his expectations.
So he was with the Barnstormers for a minute. I don't know if he actually got into a game or not, but I remember him and I think his teammate, because I remember Wartburg University. So I think that was Hunter Clausen was the running back there at Iowa. So they both went over there. So I don't think he got into a game because he might have gone to Oregon at that time, but I'm not sure.
I think you are correct on all of that. I think they both went into camp with them, and then I believe Clausen was with him for a little while, but Butters did not.
I think Clausen got hurt. So
yeah, Clausen started 3 weeks and then he got hurt.
Yeah, but everyone knows it's Butters.
Definitely. I actually got to interview Butters in 2024 at the pro level combine. Really nice guy. Really enjoyed my conversation with him and Hunter Clausen, speaking of which. So both of them, you can check out both of those interviews on the channel still to this day. Gabe, that was an amazing signing. I wonder who helped with that, discussing Queon Williams and Gabe back for now, referring to Williams being back in the IFL. C-Dog the GOAT checking in. How's it going, C-Dog? Appreciate you being here as always. Shifting over to the 27th transactions. There's only a handful of these here, but not even going to try and pronounce this first gentleman's name because I will butcher it. But Oceanside signed a very large offensive lineman from Adams State. Joe Nowden, a wide receiver, defensive back from Eastern Michigan, joins Nashville. Jaquez Woods also joins Nashville, and Kentucky has released a wide receiver. So Kentucky's already.
Yeah, so Clinton Jefferson, he was with Vegas this past year. He won the championship with them. He scored a touchdown in the championship game. Very dynamic. He needs to go to Michigan. I would love to see him land with Michigan. He went to Ferris State. That would be great. So Lyota, go get him.
Look at Krish already on top of it. Any thoughts on any of these moves, Cody?
It's crazy because I'm putting out the Northern Arizona preview, and I have he goes by Junior, but Junior Atuatasi was with Northern Arizona, so apparently he's been signed with Oceanside now. CJ Jefferson got released. I think he's with the New Mexico Chupacabras. So, you see a lot of former IFL talent right there. That's really all I have. We'll see how that goes.
Interesting. TJ, any thoughts on these?
Oceanside strengthening the O-line and Nashville continuing to tinker with their team after coming up just short in the championship last year. Man, it's good to see. It's going to be an interesting year for sure.
Agreed. All right. This seems like a perfectly good place to take another commercial break, and then we will be right back to finish this bad boy out with the IFL. As mentioned before, there's been quite a bit of information coming out of the IFL, so definitely want to get back with that. But before we go to the commercial break, since you guys will have a couple minutes to do this, don't forget that you can enter our giveaway for a piece of the Sioux Falls Storm's turf. Basically, all you have to do is a couple minor steps right here. Follow Indoor and Arena Football History on TikTok or Arena and Indoor Football History and News on Facebook, and find the contest keyword. Join our mailing list at shadysportsnetwork.com, and then comment the contest keyword live during this episode. So you have a couple minutes as we go to break. You have a chance to enter this right now. So if you want to do that, I recommend going to find that contest keyword and hopping right back over here with us. But in the meantime, we will be right back.
I don't know what we're yelling about! Loud noises!
And Grant Russell into the end zone, touchdown! Russell has to step up in the pocket, has some room in front of him, gets that three-step drop, here comes the pressure, passes complete to Flowers, back to pass, pressure coming, has somebody in the end zone, touchdown! Russell, pressure's coming, Russell able to escape, still on his feet, and will be brought down at the looking, has plenty of time, has Flores at the 15, he's at the 10, and Russell has it on the outside, like I said, he ain't taking a slide, Russell steps up, let's one go, Robinson makes the circus catch, going to the low snap, here comes the pressure, and the pass is going to be complete, and making the catch of Grant Russell. Russell, back to pass, looking, he has Robinson makes the catch, and will be brought down on the play by Isaiah Hall.
All right, so we are back from break, and we have a few more things to talk about. As mentioned before, the IFL has had some pretty big news come out of the league over the past couple days here. I think basically since Wednesday, if I remember correctly. And the first big piece of news, of course, was the fact that they have dropped FanDuel from their coverage for the 2026 season. So I'll go ahead and pull up that statement by the league real quick. But obviously there had been a lot of speculation about what was coming from the league, given the fact that that FanDuel has announced that they will be shutting down their streaming app in April. So obviously that was going to be midway through the season. So many people were very concerned about what the IFL was going to do. So they have decided to part ways with FanDuel Sports Network entirely. That way they don't have to worry about any, mid-season concerns with FanDuel. And in the meantime, Yahoo Sports has picked up a handful of more games for their platform for the 2026 season. So real quick, we'll go around the horn here and get your guys' opinions on this move and possibly even your guys' projections on what else could come about to fill out the remaining broadcast partners for these games. Let's go to Cody first on this one.
Yeah, it's never a good look. It's not necessarily the huge black eye like a lot of people might be making it out to be. We knew this news was coming for quite a while, though. It's just the radio silence that they had trying to terminate this and potentially find new suitors, things along those lines. It sucks that it's happening so close to the start of the season. Something I have harped on this league and every other league about is just making sure you can get your deals and stuff done in a timely manner so you can promote it. Because like I said, we're just a couple of weeks away from the start of the Indoor Football League season. And I know Yahoo's picked up 5 extra games, which is the IFL Cup and the playoff games and stuff like that. So it's good that they're going all in on Yahoo Sports to figure out who the other suitor is going to be. I don't necessarily have a guess. I know Coach Davis has been on here a couple of times hinting at DAZN or DAZN or however it's pronounced, DAZN. And yeah, it's one of those things where I don't like having it so close to the start of the season because you're not giving people enough time to find it and you're not necessarily promoting it because I'll be honest, how many times has the Indoor Football League promoted that they're on Yahoo Sports since the announcement? It probably hasn't been any or many, if at all. So while this does suck, you just hope for better things, man. Something better than FanDuel, something better than what they previously had.
TJ, what are your thoughts on this move?
I mean, yeah, it was pretty much a foregone conclusion when they announced that they were shutting down streaming that this was going to happen. I mean, it's awesome that Yahoo picked up, a bunch of games. They're making it sound like they have other stuff in the works. I mean, it wouldn't be for some reason for me. I know it's kind of a long shot, but ESPN3, kind of creeps into my mind. Wouldn't be the first time ESPN3 picked up a different arena or indoor games.
ESPN3 shut down.
Oh, ESPN3 shut down?
Yeah, I think everything's now on ESPN Plus.
No, well, yeah, just overall ESPN streaming.
Yeah.
I don't really know. It's like Cody said, it just sucks that it's this close to the season. I mean, of course, you remember last season and stuff, you had teams, a day or two before the start of the season, so you never know what's going to happen in this sport. But I think honestly, they might even revert back, put some games live on the IFL Network now as well. Who knows? But either way, it's not as again, like Cody said, it's not as big of a black eye because they do have other options still currently on the docket. And for this to happen now, it's kind of the best time because we've been talking about kind of the little bit of resurgence that the sport's having. So there has never been more interest to maybe pick up a flyer like some IFL games because this deal fell through.
Agreed. We've got some people that are making some projections or some predictions in the chat, and one of them here, my take is Fubo. Fubo would be an interesting one because I don't think it'd be a direct partnership with Fubo because they're kind of more of a conglomerate type situation. So it would have to be probably through another channel, but to see them on a platform like that would be amazing, obviously. But that's part of why Yahoo Sports is great because they can be broadcast through so many different streaming apps, which I believe, Amazon Prime was one of them and stuff like that. So I think a lot of people are going to have access to these games now that did not previously due to the paywall. And then also the fact that people just tend to not really catch content as organically on YouTube and stuff like that as they might, watching, a streaming platform that they already have. So,
I really quick, I do want to kind of maybe make a guess. I don't think it'll happen, but I know that there were rumors for a minute going around that with Brent Stover coming over from CBS Sports and being the director of broadcasting, that maybe there's an opportunity for Paramount Plus. You got, the championship games on CBS Sports. Maybe you get some live football on Paramount Plus. I'm not throwing anything out into the ether with that, but at the same time, like, that would make a lot of sense. I don't know if it'll happen, but I mean, it makes more sense than Fubo, not to shoot that down.
Agreed. Krish, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I kind of agree with Cody and TJ. I mean, I thought Paramount Plus as well. I mean, I'm not really concerned, honestly. Yahoo picking up 64 games is a big deal. You know, it showed that they had a backup plan. And, I mean, this is by far the biggest streaming platform any of the leagues have. So it's really good that they were able to find a backup plan quickly.
Definitely. Actually, yeah, CBS Sports makes a lot of sense. And that was kind of my thought, but actually didn't really look as deep into it as you guys, because I didn't think about the Brent Stover connection. My thought was actually the fact that they picked up the AF1 games in a hurry last, I think it was the AFL. They picked up the AFL postseason games in 2024, like kind of mid-season. So I figured, maybe they would be open to a move like that. They've done it in the past. They've have a standing relationship with the IFL due to their championship game, and now Brent Stover as well. So honestly, that seems like a really legitimate quality fit for them. If they were looking for another partner. So maybe that is a realistic possibility, whether it's Paramount Plus or, that maybe we even get some games on actual CBS Sports, but who knows? It would be great to see regardless. I think most people knew it was coming. Wasn't surprisingly glad they're going all in on Yahoo. I agree, and I'm glad that they had another partner to turn to, because like everybody said before me, it does make it a lot less of a black eye.
Can I address a comment really quick for Sea-Dog? The Sea-Dog said maybe the IFL network, but make it free or $5 or $15. Right now, the Indoor Football League network, I believe, is free. But I've said this in one of my episodes. I would love if they charged another $30 and all of the games were in one place. You could also multicast it to Yahoo Sports and stuff like that, but you could also put it behind a paywall for $30 because that way you have everything in one spot. I know they're using that network as an archive for the games on Yahoo or whatever other streamer or platform they're going to use to keep everything archived on the network. So that'd be pretty cool. But I would be willing to pay another $30 if it means that all of my games are in one spot. I don't have to go to different channels, different areas or anything. I just have to go to the Indoor Football League network. My opinion has changed drastically compared to last year on that. So I would love to have it all in one spot, which, shameless plug for that. That's what the NAL is doing. Should work for them.
You're not wrong. I do like that idea that you brought up. Like if they put all the games on IFL Network where you have one catch-all, a lot of us would pay for that. I would pay for that rather than, as Texas Pete says here, chasing them down on different streaming services. Yeah, absolutely. Now, if you had a simulcast going on of all the games, that makes sense too. So I mean,
exactly.
Maybe you catch more casual fans by having the game simulcast on Yahoo Sports. Or maybe, you have to wait a day for those games, which, I mean, me personally, that's not a huge deal. But then again, I don't have a specific team in the league that, I want to watch every single game every single week on. Mm-hmm. So I kind of bounce around a little bit. So I'm not tied to a specific team in a specific state or something like that. And I could see, if you're a fan in Iowa and you have to wait 24 hours to see the game, because it's on Yahoo Sports and you don't have access to that for whatever reason, I could see that getting a little frustrating. So I could definitely see the value to being able to simulcast all the games live on the IFL network. And I think a lot of people would pay for that, even if there are free options.
I know they're just trying to get eyeballs out there, put it on as many streamers or whatever you can. But ultimately, I would love it all in one spot. Everyone, complains all the time. Where's the NFL game this time? Is it on YouTube? Is it on Prime? Is it on NFL Network? Is it CBS, Fox, NBC? Like, you don't want to get to that point. IFL's not at that point yet, but at the same time, you just want it all in one spot. And that goes for not just the NFL, IFL, whatever. That's like any sport, man. So I would prefer that. I don't think we'll get it, but it would be interesting to see if they could put it behind a paywall again. And like I said, I would gladly pay $30 more if that means I get to watch the game live. And another thing to be brought up would be, how many games can you watch at once? Because if you've got the Indoor Football League network, you can quad box that thing with multiple internet tabs or whatever you can do. You can watch 4 games at once if you want on your computer. I don't know if you're going to get that with Yahoo. because they're doing all these different staggered starts. So they're only going to have one game, multiple channels, however it goes. They haven't been really transparent with that yet. So I am curious to see how they're going to do it with that and the other broadcast partners.
Yeah, and I remember last year they basically had like their own red zone channel where they were showing updates on all the overlapping games going on. I wonder if they'll still have that this year as well, because that was really cool.
They won't be doing that because that went through BEK, which is up in North Dakota, with conjunction with Bismarck and Fargo and all of that stuff, the Bismarck Bucks. So they could still have that relationship. I haven't really dove into that to see if it's still there or not, but if they do it, great. But I don't think they're going to do it anymore. I don't think it drummed up enough interest for it.
That's unfortunate.
I like this. $30 a year is a bargain when you put it like that. Yeah, Texas Pete, I think you might be thinking somebody else. As far as Sea-Dog, he says, are you thinking off the wall? There's a couple different other creators that are pretty good about teaching some of the history of the game through interviews, and honestly, there are multiple channels that have been doing a really good job with it recently. But this is not our only IFL news. Actually, this came out yesterday. The IFL 2025 Hall of Fame class has been announced, and I thought this was a really cool to see. First of all, I mean, I love the fact that the IFL does the Hall of Fame, but these two players in particular are both very deserving. Obviously, you see the stats on screen. They're incredibly big-time performers. I mean, Brady Rowland only played like 4 seasons, and he put up those numbers. So, I mean, that kind of tells you how good of a player he was. And then also Michael Bazemore as well. Any thoughts on the 2025 IFL class? Let's go to TJ first on this one.
Hey, both guys really deserving. Like you said, Roland only played for a few years, but both guys are ranked towards the top in a lot of their individual stats for positions, and they're deserving of it. I really do like the fact that the IFL is very consistent with their Hall of Fame as well.
Truth. Cody, thoughts?
Yeah, I like both selections. It's kind of crazy to think of the people that got left out when you think of a certain coach who didn't get left out, and then compare that to the NFL leaving out their certain coach who didn't get in. So it's kind of crazy how that kind of correlates. But for the people that did get in with Bazemore and Roland, those are, I mean, some mighty fine stats, and you have to, again, take it from different eras and stuff like that. Bazemore playing more towards the infancy of the league and Roland kind of towards the middle. So really, really good couple of picks when it comes to the Hall of Fame game, or Hall of Fame, and then when they get inducted into the Hall of Fame game in a couple of weeks.
Krish, any thoughts on these two moves? I'm sorry, was that a no?
Did we lose Krish?
He's still
here.
Yeah.
No,
oh,
so
thank God.
yeah, no, I mean, so for me, I mean, you know, I'm happy for these two players. Obviously, Brady Rowland, you know, big impact in Iowa, you know, Bazemore and Billings. So it's good to see, you know, it's good. It kind of squashes that Sioux Falls narrative a little bit, right? You got kind of different players and people from different teams. So I like to see it for sure.
Agreed.
I want to know what the criteria is, you know, because for me, in 5 years, my boy Jawad should be in the Hall of Fame. But that's just me. I don't know. You know, so.
Don't they have to retire first?
No, I don't think for executives or coaches. I think you can still be going. Kevin God's in the Hall of Fame,
That's right. I forgot about
Yeah,
Guy.
so-
Kevin Guy was up this year and didn't get in, if I'm not mistaken.
Really?
That's the thing I was talking about with the guy not getting in and then Belichick not getting in.
He'll get in.
I thought he was already in. Maybe
I
it's
thought he was too. But I thought I remember reading something that he didn't get in. I saw on the Indoor Football Forum, I think David out there said that Guy and a couple of others didn't get in. Could be mistaken.
He's in the AF2 Hall of Fame.
Gotcha.
That's what it is. Okay, that's my fault. I had to look that up real quick because I was like, I swear he was in the Hall of Fame, but no, it's for the AF2, which makes a lot of sense. You know, obviously had a really great career there in the AF2 for a long time, so very deserving of that as well. I mean, can you imagine he's going to probably end up finishing his career and being 2 different Hall of Fames for 2 different leagues? That's impressive. Any other thoughts on the Hall of Fame class? Are there any other topics on the IFL you guys would like to cover before we get out of here for the day?
Well, I'll address Adrian's comment because he said, "Isn't the Hall of Fame usually 3 people?" And I don't think it's necessarily consistent. Like, it's fairly consistent, but there was one year, and again, shout out to David in the Indoor Football Forum on Facebook, because he said that there was one year that there's 4 people that were announced. I can't remember the year off the top of my head, and this one is actually the smallest class with only 2. So, to Krish's credit, I want to know what the voting criteria is, if it's like a 75% threshold or whatever it is, like they do in like Major League Baseball or the NFL or whatever the case could be. So I would like to see how that goes, because how Kevin Guy didn't get in this year, that's incredible to me.
Do the refs have a vote?
And maybe the voting people are all just San Diego fans.
Could be. There's a lot of different factors here that could be in. Adrian says, interesting. Thank you. So apparently,
I see Trey's little comment right here. Let's see this. So whatever happened in the Pirates Hall of Fame initiative, I mean, there was voting done on the Hall of Fame class, and I'm sure that will be announced at a home game here soon. So, I mean, Lobo was kind of the one that created that, and obviously, I think whatever the news with him is, but I think I think we have a good Hall of Fame class coming in. I can't wait to see who the first ever Pirates Hall of Fame class is, to be honest.
Ricky Birds, how did Tatum not get in? Throwing some support to his former coach there.
Former coach, yeah.
Hey, we never discussed the AIF game of the year. Okay, Matt, what is the AIF game of the year? Excuse me, I'm not meaning to yawn. I've gotten like 9 hours of sleep in the past 3 days. Yeah, I wonder what happened to that, LMAO.
Oh my God.
I bet Huron O'Neill would say that Bazemore was the most dominant D lineman he ever had played with, or ever had. So the fact that he hadn't been voted in before now is a shame, probably due to him playing so long ago.
Hey, speaking about Hall of Fame, I want to see Ricky. He went out and bought orange turf for the beef. I want to see him buy a statue of Tommy Armstrong. Like, that's what I want to see. I really think he should get a statue.
Do they do statues for indoor football players?
Nah, but this is different. Like, he should get a statue.
I mean,
maybe like a bobblehead night. That's more arena and indoor space.
I'll just put their face on a souvenir cup. I mean, that's probably more or less what you're going to get.
That, hey, at least it's something. But a statue is a bit much, man. What if it's like a figurine? But so Matt says Cedar Rapids and West Michigan is the AIF game of the year, which I would agree. They probably are the 2 the best organized and well-run teams in the league. So I guess the question here is, what's the over-under on that game? Matt, if it's you, what are you putting on the spread there? So do we want to go around the horn real quick and give our NAL picks? Because we did not do that. We just addressed the favorites. The spreads. So
yeah, no, I want to get my spreads. What are the spreads for the games for the 2? Are both of them up or one?
So the Pueblo game does not have a spread, which Cody referred to this, and it's possible that they just had a. It would be such a big spread that they don't have a spread, because it's against the NoCo nightmare. But and then, as we mentioned before, the Far Phantoms are 6.5-point favorites over Louisiana on the road.
Yeah, so I like this comment, but I'll give my spread. So I'm gonna start with the Pueblo game. I'll give you stuff to watch. So I would look for the quarterback battle between Brandon Kyles and Joshua Hollins. Brandon Kyles is more of a standard pocket passer. He can move around a little bit, and Josh Hollins is a prime running quarterback. So it's going to be exciting to see who wins that battle. And then I would look out for the receiving core. And the third thing would be the physicality of the defense, especially the DB room for Pueblo. I'm really excited to watch that tonight and see how they kind of mesh together their first time being out on the turf. For the Far Phantoms, I mean, for them to be favored, like, I love our guy Daniel. He's amazing, but his team is a bunch of Happy Meals. You know, they're like, I mean, they're part-time players. It's a joke, honestly. So I think like for them to be favored, it's disrespectful to Louisiana. I don't think Louisiana. I have Louisiana going 0-10, but that's like crazy to me. That is so insane. Like it just that looks sketchy as hell, honestly, for a semi-pro team to be favored over a pro team. You know, so I don't know,
Excuse me,
man.
I really don't mean to keep yawning, but I honestly think it's just because it's their first lines of the year.
6.5 though for a semi-pro team, like.
I bet you if you called up my bookie right now, they would not be able to tell you that the Far Phantoms are not in the National Arena League because it's their first week ever. Honestly, it would not shock me entirely if we got to the nitty-gritty and we found out that somebody was picking teams based on logos behind the scenes for the first couple weeks, and then after that, we found out that they actually had data that they were going by.
I know. I see Ralph's comment too, Coach. I understand what you're saying, but at the end of the day, like it's this Far Phantoms team, man. Like they're a bunch of guys and they play for fun. There's nothing professional about that organization at all. Like, and it's not me like shitting on them. They also said like they're a part-time organization. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't know, man.
Those Happy Meals can catch this 5-piece nugget.
Honestly, man, like that's what it is. Like it.
Guys. Okay, so who's the pick for everybody in the Far Phantoms and Louisiana?
Louisiana money line, man. Easy.
TJ?
Oh man, you know I'm all about believing and stuff, but I don't think Louisiana can do it. You got to go with Far. You know, going with the
I
home
want to
team,
know.
baby.
No, I want to know what the spread is next week. Pueblo and Colorado. Like I'm excited. I cannot wait for that to drop. Because for me, that Pueblo and Colorado spread should be like 4.5, honestly. So 5.5 maybe.
I just hope both teams have fun. I think Louisiana's going to win. Like we said in the private chat, I'll make it public. I don't know. This is why is the line the way it is? Like, not to discredit a semi-pro team or anything like that. They know what they're doing, but at the same time, if Louisiana is worth their salt, if they want to say that they are an NAL team, they got to win this game. Even if it means winning it by 1 point, it doesn't matter. You will get clowned. You got to win it.
That's fair. That's fair. I think let's put a pin in this topic. We'll just put a pin in this topic. I'm picking Far. Sorry, Louisiana. I'm picking Far. I got to roll with Daniel. He's my guy. So
I can't wait to see next week though. Dallas Bulls. They play Team Mexico. You know,
that's going to be an interesting game.
The Cartel Boys. Like I can't wait. That's going to be fun.
Cartel Boys.
It's going to be fun.
That's like the Island Boys. They're just from the South.
Yeah.
These two games too.
Okay, but just a sec. Sorry about that. All right, so what about the Pueblo game? I imagine we're all in conjunction.
Yeah, I mean, I think the spread for that. Look, Noco, I mean, they can put up points, right? Their quarterback is like 47, if I remember correctly. So he's an older guy, been playing semi-pro for a minute. There's a reason why he's not a pro. So I think Pueblo should be favored by, I give him 13, honestly 17 points, honestly. I think it, you know, but it's going to be a good test for them. It's a really good opportunity for them to really test out what they want to do offensively and find an identity. Really, they should really take this opportunity because next week they go against a stout pass rush with Sam Hammond, Corey Henry, like all the great D linemen they got down in Colorado. Jack Robinson, so good opportunity for them to test some things out.
Agreed. Texas Pete, are you referring to the Pueblo game? Because to my knowledge, that game is on the app and vice versa for Louisiana. Louisiana is not on the app, and it's likely because the broadcast team didn't get.
Oh, you're not? I thought you were going to Pueblo game this week.
No, next week.
Oh, okay. You're going to have a smoke next week, not this week. Okay. No, it's good.
Jesus Christ, Krish. Some of the stuff you say, man, I swear to God. Pueblo by 17, Sharpie it. Sorry I had to go for a second. What league are you talking about? We're picking NAL games currently. IFL, but AI.
What do you guys think, real quick before I go? What do you guys think the spread should be next week though when Pueblo plays Colorado. Well, honestly,
10.
really 10.
Mhm.
Who's favored?
Colorado. Yeah. I think Colorado should be favored by like 4 because it's in Pueblo, but 4 or 5, honestly.
Krish, would you consider this a belt to ass game?
No, not at all. Not
Okay.
at all. But it's a good opportunity. Again, it's a good opportunity for them to test out offensively. Identity is going to be a big thing. You know, when you play a first game, like this is a good warm-up game for Pueblo. You know, to play Colorado and then have to go next week on the road in Omaha, like it's a good opportunity for them.
Just saw the NAL Facebook page comment that they won't have the Louisiana game on the app. I wonder if someone will have it up on
No,
YouTube.
they're not. The ownership group had elected not to stream the game. They don't want to show everyone their 0-10 team, so they want to keep it secret. It's fine.
You have these games.
Brian, let us know in the chat if you're going to be going to the game. If you are, definitely keeping us updated would be great.
Like, that's crazy. Imagine if I put a bet on that and the game not even streamed. Like, you know, like that at all, honestly. No.
Someone doesn't
Yeah,
watch
that's
European basketball.
You're only.
Man, Cody, you weren't kidding.
And all of that stuff, the soccer powerhouse. Yeah. There's a lot like Red Bull and stuff like that too. We won't get into it, but
you did get deep in. All right, so Matt's saying Cedar Rapids 6.5 versus West Michigan. Matt seems to be a big supporter of Cedar Rapids. He seems to think the team's better than West Michigan. Do we agree with it?
No, I mean, come on, man. Like, I like Coach Kranz and them, but Coach Kranz hasn't gone against a high-level team in how long? You know what I mean? Like, he's not ready for it. Not ready for it, especially the offense he runs. It's really basic. So I think West Michigan's going to win by 2 scores, honestly, if that's my opinion on it. But one thing I do need to plug before I go, you know, tomorrow, my men, we report to our new home in Orlando. So excited. You know, we start training camp and, you know, it's a journey. We got 22 days before our first game, before we, you know, got a crime scene down in New Mexico. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Question of the day: how many head coaches do they go through in 3 weeks? What?
Hey man, this is different. This is our year. So
Actually, I feel like we have a much
Orlando?
better bet here.
Were we talking Orlando head coaches?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
100% it is. 100%.
It's
But
always
honestly,
been a
God,
shaved head bet.
I don't know what Blakely and them are gonna run out with quarterback next week over Amarillo. That's what I'm concerned about because Louisiana might mess around and win that game. I mean, Amarillo looking bad, dude. Like, I encourage each of you to go through their roster and look at some of the guys that Amarillo has. Like, Leaf and them, they suck at player personnel. They are so bad. Like, so bad. No. Like, you should have just stuck to semi-pro, Leaf. Like, you can't build a pro team, bro. Like, I'm sorry. Terrible.
Well, while we have it on a recording, can we do a different bet besides shaved head? Like, can we do like Soggy Sorrows or something like that?
Hey, I'll do anything. I'll do anything. Mostly anything.
You heard it here, chat. Start dropping those suggestions. We want to hear what you guys
I still have my
want
bet
Krish
with
to do.
Coach Davis though. We haven't seen Coach Davis this morning. I wonder where
Yeah.
he's running to.
He
but-
might have slept in, you know?
Yeah, he's slept
No,
in.
actually, he's probably at training camp right
No,
now.
he's at training camp. 100% he is.
Yeah.
No, he's getting ready. But no, we have a good bet with May 18th. So we got to come up with something big because it's gonna be fun.
Okay, I've got a question for everybody in the chat, and then I swear we're gonna end the show after this. So here's the very last thing I'm gonna say for the show. What do we have more of? Shaved head bets from Krish or head coaches for Orlando? Let us know in the chat. But
See, that's great. I look, I understand like the look of it. Like, I know we have a different head coach every year and everything.
no.
And no, look. No, I understand. I understand what it looks like on the outside. At the end of the day, like, we're still a winning franchise. I can't name another Eastern Conference team that's been to more championships. Active Eastern Conference team. We're not talking about Sioux Falls. They're not around anymore. So we're talking about active Eastern Conference teams that have been to more championships than my Pirates. So it's a fact, right? So we win. So as long as we win, that's all that matters. It doesn't matter who the coach is for me.
So you
Never-
get to the
never has.
championship and lose by 40.
Still got that though.
I have an idea.
That's what
You
losers
do the
say.
one chip challenge on the show.
I'll do it.
If Louisiana wins a game.
Hey, Lobo, I want to know what team you're going to be a fan of this year. That's what you better not pick a team in the East. I know you're going to be an Indy fan. He's going to go be an Indy Fishers fan. And he's going to be in the front row May 9th. Guaranteed. But you should pick a West Coast team. You go to San Diego. You got to pick San Diego. No East.
I mean, can you blame him if he picks any team that's in the East at this point? I'm just saying.
Hey, anyone know what's going on with Southwest Kansas? And you saw the comment I left on your post. 21-man roster, right there.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, Southwest Kansas already finished their training camp. Because they don't have enough guys to fill out a roster. So anyone who shows up needs to see.
Yep. Krish talking all that smack when he's
Rafael Reyko, 6'8", 360, detained in Mexico. So they only have 2 offensive linemen at this point. So,
Who?
Rafael Reyko, the offensive lineman, 6'8". You were hyping him up. He played in the LFA. He's so good. I haven't seen him report to camp.
Well, what's your point?
Oh, I just want to make sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. There's 5 offensive linemen there.
Oh,
just so you know.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
But yeah. Nice try. Anyway,
right.
Until next week when Krish has to make some crazy claim, and like I said, 21-man roster, 21 head coaches. Which would you rather have?
Yo, what's good? Cedric the bus driver here. I don't know about you guys, but I know what I will be doing every Tuesday, Saturday, and Sunday. And Thursday nights too. I'll be over at Shady Sports Network, so catch up with me. Holla at your boy.
Freaking Krish. That's a good